In Celeste, you can jump, you can climb, and you can dash. And although this seems quite simple and limited, it creates a variety of movement that is massive and complex and very hard to master. Because of how hitboxes work, you can also do some very wacky things. And although this might not seem intended, there are built-in achievements based on this. One of which is to do the very first level without dashing once. This is hard because the first level is literally just a tutorial on how to dash. I was originally doing this on my own, but I got very confused very fast. Because it required very advanced techniques, I decided to learn and tried to find a quick YouTube video. But it was really hard to find a good tutorial. Most of them just said, and in this room you spike jump, and then in the next one you double jump, and I was like, what? Huh? What do you mean just spike jump? So I had to research several different videos for each room. Because it took me so long to find the solution to each level, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it so you can add the secret golden berry to your collection. The first screen is a cakewalk. Just jump and climb your way through until you're at the second screen, which is the first place I got stuck. You're intended to just spring up and dash straight through, and just jumping on the spring doesn't cut it. Climbing up the wall and jumping normally also doesn't make it far enough. Instead, if you first jump up and then over, you build a little more momentum and get the perfect amount of distance required to clear the gap. If you're enjoying the video so far, a sub to the channel would mean a lot. I upload every Monday. Thank you. The next room uses the same trick. If you jump at the last moment and hold grab, you can snag the bottom of this platform. After that, it's simply too far to jump, so we can instead jump to this wall above the spikes, climb to the top, and jump from there. You can also use the jump up and over thing we did in the last level to make the jump a little less precise. The next room is simple and is perfectly spaced for a wall jump up, and the room after that is intended to be done dashless as there's a regular wig strawberry. The following room requires a somewhat precise jump to grab the bottom of this wall, but I got it first try. And then there was the room of suffering. You're intended to climb up here, jump off, and dash twice to get to the ending platform. And to avoid the seemingly forced dashes, we have to spike jump, which looks something like this. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but from my understanding, Madeline cannot get hit by a spike unless she's moving into it. This means that she can jump onto a corner of spikes and then jump up to not die, and using that jump she can cross the spikes. It's weird and confusing, but it works. The setup I used was to come up here and try and line Madeline's feet up with this inner box. It doesn't have to be exactly there to make it, but I found that for me, it was the most consistent. You then want to hold grab down, tap the jump button, and hold right. Once you get to the wall, you do a full jump, and if you spaced it perfectly, you'll just barely make it to the other side. But unfortunately, you're not done yet. You first have to fall and land on this tiny ledge. I died here a lot, but thankfully that's the hard part. You can then climb up and jump up and over to get to the platform. Sometimes you'll generate enough height to make it straight up, but I had to jump once more off of this ledge on my winning attempt. All in all, this room took about 40 minutes for me to finally put it all together. But a lot of that was figuring out what would work and what didn't, so I think you guys can breeze through this. The next room has another seemingly impossible jump. You can get down to this part pretty easily, and figuring a way up to this green crystal isn't too bad either. But what do you do after that? For this, you want to remap some controls on your controller. I would first recommend unmapping every control from dash. This makes it so you can't accidentally press it and have to restart the whole level. I did that very close to the end, and it's very infuriating. Next, you want to map all 4 of the main buttons to jump. There's a move we have to do where you press 2 jump buttons in rapid succession, and this will make it a lot easier. Back to the level, you want to climb to the top, look right, and just roll your fingers over 2 jump buttons. This will give you some extra distance and let you clear the gap. It took me a couple of tries, and I honestly don't know what I did differently on the time I made it, but just keep going at it and you'll get it eventually. The next 3 rooms are pretty easy. The second one looks like it might be tough, but with a roundabout jump and a nice wall grab, it's an easy clear. This room looks daunting, and while it is scary, it's a lot easier than the last hard room. You only have to land 1 precise trick, and I found a really good setup for it. You can jump into this pit and grab the right wall. You then want to make very short movements up and down to try and line Madeline's fist up with a 3rd grade bar. You then want to hold right, jump once, and then jump again to get to the other side. If you pulled off just right, you'll grab the crumbling stones and can jump up onto them and then jump to the far wall, climbing up that to finish the level. You have to react fast as the stones will disappear very quickly. There were several times I just wasn't ready to make it to the stones and died. Just act fast and you'll be fine. You can fall to this wall, jump away, wait on this platform, and then jump to the end to finish the next room. Get slingshotted to finish another one, and then find probably the most difficult level in this entire challenge. There are several precise maneuvers you have to learn, but first I want to talk about what happened after a half hour of grinding on this level. I dashed. This should have been impossible since I set the controller to not have any dash inputs. But I had reset my switch, and after the game opened, I guess it thought that being able to dash was kind of important and reassigned it to its normal buttons. And I unfortunately had to play through the entire game again, but since I was so practiced, it only took me 15 minutes. I re-cleared the dash inputs in case you're wondering, so something like this can't happen again. Back to the level though, you first have to land on this tiny ledge right here. While it is precise, after you get it the first couple of times, it gets pretty consistent. After that, you want to jump up to this platform right here. Unfortunately, you're going to run out of energy on your way up. Thankfully, it doesn't matter. Wall jumping doesn't take any energy and can be done with depleted energy. Normally when you jump away from the wall, but if you don't hold the left joystick, you more jump up than out. You can use the left joystick to get back to the wall, let go, and jump again. Stringing this all together is called neutral jumping, and while it is hard to learn, once you get the rhythm down, it feels like second nature. The only tricky part I encountered was neutral jumping past this outcropping. While I did manage to do it, I found that if you save your energy, neutral jump up, and then normally climb the rest of the way, it's a lot easier and more consistent. After getting up to the wooden platform comes the fun part. You have to spike jump on this corner. Like last time, you want to hold grab and jump. My only recommendation is to come onto this from as high a place as you can. Fully jump up onto this as high as you can to position yourself more easily. Sadly, we're still not done with this level. For the next part, you want to grab and ungrab while holding right to slowly trickle down this wall. When you're on the bottom rung, you can let go of grab, face left, and grab the wall below as you're already perfectly spaced to do so. After you grab this, you can jump away and wall jump to the top. For the next room, you can pretty easily climb to this crumbling stone platform. From there, I jumped up to this wall, fell, and spike jumped to the end, but if this is proving too difficult, you can also just catch the ledge and jump up and over, and I'm sure it would work just as well. We're now in the second to last room, and it is terrifying. But I actually got this room in less than 2 minutes because of how perfect it is. You can first jump to the metal girder in the middle and then around it. Once you're there, you can jump to the wall on the right. You want to let go and quickly re-hold the grab button and jump twice. It's the perfect spacing and feels immaculate to pull off so quickly. And now, the final room. And if you weren't proficient in neutral jumping before this, you're gonna have to learn quick because they are very required. You don't get enough distance to land on the second moving block and would normally dash to make it up. But instead we land near the bottom of the wall and have to neutral jump our way up it. Then comes the hard part. We still have to make it to the platform, and to do that you have to perfectly space your jump and grab the bottom edge of the platform. Every single time I made it, I was so surprised and unready that I didn't jump off the platform in time and didn't get the momentum boost. Usually I ran out of energy and died, but on the final attempt I rode down with it and then went back up and jumped. The very final jump is a bit sketchy, but if you just jump at the last minute, you can make it to the next platform. Even if you don't make it to the platform, if you hold grab, a lot of the time you can hit the area beneath and then climb up. And that's the last level. I can collect the only winged gold strawberry in the entire game and finish the level. If this helped you in any way or you just enjoyed the video, then a sub to the channel would mean a lot. I upload weekly and you don't want to miss it. If you have any challenge run ideas, leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to check them out. Thank you for watching and have a great day.